Alright people, hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to another video for you today. And I am here to talk about Avengers Infinity War, which was, it was a beautiful movie. It was exactly what I wanted. I loved it. It was the culmination of all these movies, the big lead up since 2012 to this, and it was great. Thanos, best villain of the MCU, so good, so sympathetic, so scary, villainous, everything you want from a great villain in anything, not even just a superhero film, just anything out there. And you got it with Thanos. He was great, and Josh Brolin did an excellent job, but the whole movie was excellent too. You got great character moments, you got just great moments in general. It's a movie that you definitely need to watch pretty much every other MCU movie to really get the maximum effect, but I think it's still a decent movie on its own, even if you don't. Like, sorry, it was just well made. If you don't like it, I get it. But I think it's a well-made movie, even if you don't watch any of those MCU movies before this. It might be confusing, but it's still, it's still good. It's like watching the last Harry Potter movie. Of course it's going to be fucking confusing. I don't even get the complaints like, oh, yeah, this is confusing if you haven't watched any other movies. That's like watching the last season of Breaking Bad and not understanding what's going on. Like, no shit. Really? Ugh. Anyway, this is my top 10 favorite scenes from Avengers Infinity War. So, of course, spoilers ahead. Huge spoilers. I will be describing each scene in my top 10 descriptively enough, at least. And I will be showing maybe little, not clips, but screenshots from the movie that I can get, because there's some scenes on YouTube that I've already looked up, some scenes I really wanted to rewatch, and some people have posted some of those scenes on YouTube. So I will get little pictures, but I'm not going to put the actual scenes there, so just warning there as well. But anyway, let's get to it with, of course, my top 10, which is going to start with number 10. Alright, so my number 10 favorite scene from Infinity War is the Nowhere Standoff. That's what I call it, where we have Star-Lord and Thanos and in a standoff where Thanos has Gamora. He could kill her right now if he wants to, and Star-Lord has his gun up to Thanos. And of course, Gamora, right before that, a couple scenes before, told Star-Lord, if he ever captures me and you have a chance, you kill me. So there's this whole really tense moment where Star-Lord, who loves Gamora, actually is contemplating doing what she asked and actually shoot her. And there's a part where Thanos is just like, yeah, do it, man. Do it. I dare you. I double dog dare you, dude. Go ahead, pull that trigger. See what happens, baby. And he even puts him closer, puts Gamora closer to his gun. Like, go ahead, pull that trigger. Do it. Do it. Come on. Come on, do it. And then Star-Lord's like, all right, man, I'll do it. I'm sorry, Gamora, I love you. And he pulls the trigger and it just turns into bubbles. Because, of course, Thanos wouldn't let that happen. Because Thanos does actually love Gamora. And even Thanos is just like, I like you, man. And then he teleports away. That whole scene, even the scene before that where you have Drax and everybody trying to infiltrate and sneak around. And of course Gamora actually killing Thanos, but you find out it's not actually real. It's all the reality stone messing with them. That was all great, but that one part of that one scene I love. That's why it cracked my top 10. And it actually beat out, I'm just going to tell you right here, it actually beat out the Red Skull scene. That was number 10, and I was thinking about this scene. I was like, you know what, this one had more effect on me. Like, Red Skull, that's cool and all, but this whole scene was just really great. And at the end, I'm just like, oh man, that sucks. Especially since what happens later, you realize that that's the last time Star-Lord and Gamora will ever see each other again, because I don't think Gamora's coming back after this. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, it was a great scene. Number 9. The Avengers holding off Thanos while Scarlet Witch kills Vision. This scene, first of all, is not only emotional, but it is really well paced, very tense. You see Thanos being a complete badass, just destroying the Avengers while walking slow and barely even doing anything, really, and just walking towards Vision without a care in the world. He knows he's going to win. He doesn't care what's happening. Scarlet Witch is blowing up Vision's head. Who cares? He got that time stone. He don't care. So he's just walking slowly towards Vision while Scarlet Witch is killing him, without them knowing that he could just reverse time. Yes, of course they don't know that. Yeah, and even the part where Cap is holding back Thanos by holding his gauntlet, which was in the trailer, which was a great shot in this movie too. Even Cap can't hold him back. He just gets knocked. He gets knocked out. And of course, it finally happens. Scarlet Witch actually destroys Vision and destroys the Soul Stone, but Thanos says, hey girl, you know about loss? Yeah, you know about loss. I know about Lost too. You're about to know about Lost even more in a second. Ooh, oh, give me that, yoink! And he takes it, puts it on his thing, and he's done. He got all the Infinity Stones. Great scene. Great scene. Whew. I love it. Number 8, the beginning. That's right, the first few minutes where we get to see not only Heimdall die, but Loki get strangled, where his neck breaks and everything. And this is where we also see the Hulk ain't shit when it's compared to Thanos. Thanos destroys the Hulk in the first few minutes. This whole scene was not only tense and scary, but a great introduction to Thanos, and also immediately when he shows off that he can defeat the Hulk like he's nothing, it shows off how threatening he possibly could be physically. Not only just like intellectually, but physically. He is a force to be reckoned with, and this whole scene was great, especially after killing Loki. It is truly an emotional and really great beginning to a great film. So there you go. My number 8, quick beginning of the movie. Number 7, the entrance of Steve Rogers into the film. Oh boy, this scene is awesome. They are in a subway. Both Vision and Scarlet Witch are about to get attacked by the Black Order members, Corvus and Midnight, I believe their names are. And before that happens, you see in the background this train passes by, and you can kind of see like a silhouette while the train's passing by. You can see little gaps and windows and stuff. You can kind of see someone stand behind it, and then the train passes, and they start playing the, what was that? I'm pretty sure the Avengers theme, right? They start playing that, and it's, oh man, that's my boy Cap. And he grabs that spear, and he goes to town, and of course Falcon and Black Widow also show up. But man, that entrance, especially if you're in a theater filled with people, that is one badass entrance for Captain America. Just silhouetted. You get to see the beard. You get to see the flowing golden locks. Oh, boy. That boy is beautiful. And that whole scene was pretty awesome. But that one entrance, that one part in that one scene was freaking so good. Number 6. The Thanos and Gamora flashback. Now, this is when we find out when Thanos took Gamora as his adopted daughter. And you can kind of see that relationship in this one clip where we get to see young Gamora hiding with her mother while Thanos and his crew, including his children, his adopted children, destroying Gamora's homeland and of course separating everybody into 2 halves. One half is about to get eradicated. But before that happens, Gamora can't find her mother. And Thanos finds her and actually starts being really kind, like not acting like an asshole at all. He's just like, hey, what's up? Are you lost? Yeah, I'll work it out with you. Come here. Hey, you want to see a knife? Look at this knife. Isn't it cool? It's pretty. Here you go. You do it. Look, you balance it. Everything should be balanced. Remember this, Gamora, because I'm adopted your ass. And it puts it on her finger. And even this is my favorite part of this entire scene, where one half, you just see in the background 2 halves. One half on the right, one half on the left. And you see what the left half starting getting eradicated. And Gamora's about to look back because she hears all the people dying. But Thanos is just like, no, don't look, don't look. Focus on the knife being balanced on your finger. And that whole scene is so good. And that one part was great. And you could tell Thanos immediately took a liking to Gamora as a child, and you can tell there's true love there, especially later on in the movie. But yeah, that one scene I loved. It really did make me go, yeah, this character is way deeper than any other villain we had in MCU. Compare him to like Malekith from freaking Thor 2, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for Malekith. It really is. That poor boy. I don't like him, but that poor boy. Number 5. Now, I'm not sure if everybody's going to agree with me on this one, but I love this scene so much. This is the scene where Iron Man, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and the Guardians of the Galaxy are holding down Thanos on Titan and trying to take that Infinity Gauntlet off his freaking hand. This whole scene was not only tense, but well executed, very well acted, especially from Tony, I was about to call him Tony, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Pratt, and Josh Brolin. They all did an excellent job, and I absolutely love the scene where Star-Lord shows up and he's like talking shit. He's just like, yeah, that's right, that was my plan. Anyway, where's Gamora? And then he slowly finds out what actually happened, because this is, of course, right after Thanos sacrificing Gamora to get the Soul Stone, which, by the way, earlier I said Soul Stone was in Vision's head. That's not true. It was Mind Stone. I don't know. There's a lot of stones. Believe me, I'm stupid. But anyway, that whole scene, this whole scene, I'm not even talking about just the scene of them holding Thanos down, but the action scene previously before this and also right after this is all great. But this one part of this one scene I love. And then he slowly finds out and he loses his temper, because at this point Star-Lord, even though he knows the stakes, he's not 100% like knowledgeable when it comes to what's really going on and what's at stake. He knows the stakes. He just doesn't comprehend them as much as like Tony does or anything else. So he doesn't really understand that much. And then when he hears that Gamora is dead, he loses it. And it's a really great scene. I loved it. I really did. So that's why that's my number 5. It's extremely emotional, especially since I actually really like Gamora and I love the Guardians themselves as characters. So it's really, yeah, it's emotionally heartbreaking. I cried. I didn't cry, but it was emotional. Number 4, the closing shot of this movie. Holy hell, I loved it. I'm literally talking, I'm not talking about the ending like the last like few minutes. I'm talking about the last like 15 to 20 seconds of this movie where you see Thanos coming out of his little hut. He's all stitched up and stuff. I mean, you can still tell he's damaged from Thor's axe, but he's coming out and he's stitched up and stuff, and he just sits down and he just looks out into the sunset and he has that little smile. And that's it. And it cuts to the credits with no music. It's just like, well, it's a little bit of music, but it's like really somber music for the credits. And you just sit there contemplating like, wow, this man did it. He did. He did what he wanted to do, and he's living his life now. And for some reason, that last closing shot really affected me. I was like, that was a great way to end this movie. Not on a big action scene or anything like that, or a big like triumphant moment. It was really like a really sad way to end it, but also fulfilling because you kind of like Thanos and you kind of root for him a little bit, and you understand the reasoning, and you understand that hey, he is willing to sacrifice everything to save the universe. He's not here for himself, you know? The one thing he truly loved, he sacrificed just to do this, and he sits there, he's just like, it was worth it. I saved the universe, and he just sits there, and that's it. Even if this wasn't a part 1 of part 2, like a 2-parter movie, I'd be like, this is a great way to end this movie. But as a 2-parter, it's actually better to me because, you know, the next movie is probably going to redo everything that happened, and that'll make me kind of sad in a way. Because, I mean, we lost a lot of superheroes in this one, but if we lose that Thanos smile, I'm going to be really sad. No, I'm just kidding. But really, the closing shot was great. Number 3. Now, I mentioned this one earlier, so no surprise that it's on the list. Gamora's death scene. This scene is probably the most effective death scene in the entire movie, besides maybe one other one, which I will bring up in a minute. But this one is great. I like Gamora a lot as a character, but this one not only is effective because Gamora gets killed, but because we get to see, this is where it's confirmed that Thanos isn't just some generic-ass villain who kills people and that's it, you know? And he doesn't care about anybody. You get to see him get emotional about having to sacrifice Gamora to get the Soul Stone. You get to see it. You see him crying. He finds out that he has to sacrifice whatever he loves the most or whatever. So he has to sacrifice Gamora because that's the one thing he loves. And you see the flashbacks in the past and stuff like that. You even see the vision at the end of the movie where Gamora's asked like, hey, what did you have to sacrifice? Was it worth it? Even that scene is beautiful. But this whole scene is just like, it's predictable. You know where it's going. But it's so well done. And the fucking special effects on Thanos is so good. You see a close-up of him throwing Gamora off the ledge, and you just see a close-up of his face, and he's just like, he's destroyed that he just did that, but he had to do it. That was his thing. This is his whole goal, and he couldn't just not do it. You know, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful scene. That whole death scene was great, and of course, right before that, we finally see Red Skull again. So that was also a little bonus too. But there you go. That is my number 3. And it makes me feel like it should be higher now, just thinking about it. I'll leave it at number 3. Number 2. Oh, my boy. Oh, of course, number 2 has to be the snap. The snap is everything we wanted for some reason, even though when it happened, I feel like nobody wanted it anymore. Because when it happened, people started disappearing. Bucky, Falcon, Black Panther, all these characters. And then the one that solidified this as my number 2 is Spider-Man. I mean, we see right before that Star-Lord and Drax and Mantis. We even see Groot, Teenage Groot, die. But the one that really affected all of us was Spider-Man, because Spider-Man, he has a spidey sense, so he's just like, wait, hold on, there's something wrong with me, and you can feel it coming, and he's begging Tony, he's just like, I don't want to die, I don't want to die, he's just like crying, and it's so well done, because he's like a, what, 15, 16-year-old kid, so he's breaking down, you know, he's not a man yet, he's Spider-Boy, and he's dying, and he doesn't want to go, he hasn't lived his life yet, everybody else has lived their life, you know, for a little bit at least, and you know, Spider-Man, he hasn't really, and it's really tragic to watch that, it really is. So this snap, first of all, the snap itself was really well done. Right after Thor supposedly, like, you know, got the upper hand, he's just like, yeah, that's right, you died for that bit, and he like digs it deeper, and then Thanos utters the line, you should have aimed for the head. Oh, fucking good, so good, so good. Oh, the snap is great. Oh my god, it's so emotionally devastating too. Just seeing all these people, not just like fall over or whatever, just dead. They just turn into fucking ash. They're gone. That's it. No body left. They're just dead. They didn't get raptured where their clothes are still there. No, everything about them is gone. Even Bucky's arm went with him. You know? It's not even it's not even him. It's metal arm. He's gone too. That little arm's gone. Fuck. My number one favorite scene in Infinity War has to go to when my boy Thor, Odin's son, and Teenage Groot and Rocket Raccoon show up to Wakanda to destroy some Thanos. Oh my god. When he shows up, first of all, you see the Bifrost just send him to Wakanda. You see this big beam, and if you're in a theater and you have a nice crowd that, you know, cheers at the best parts, the parts where, you know, if they're cheering, it's not talking over dialogue, it's just moments that are really badass. If you have a great crowd, this moment will fucking hype you up. When Thor shows up and he throws that freaking Stormbreaker and destroys all these alien dog creatures, and he just catches it, and you see that badass hero shot of him and a giant tree and a raccoon with a gun. I know it's silly, but you see that, it's fucking so good. It is the highlight of the movie to me, and this is the reason why I love Thor as a character now. Like, after Thor Ragnarok, and even, I would say even after Age of Ultron, I started really liking Thor, and then Ragnarok really solidified it. I was just like, this character is awesome, and in this movie, he is the MVP when it comes to the Avengers, the heroes, because Thanos is definitely my favorite character of the entire movie, but when Thor shows up, and he lost fucking everything, okay? Especially earlier in the movie, he lost his brother and his best friend and all of his, well, not all of his people, but at least half of his people. I don't know what happened to the other half, but whatever. And he shows up, and he destroys these dudes with this giant badass freaking axe, and he yells, "Bring me Thanos." I was like, oh my fuck. Hype. So hype. So, while this list I have right here is filled with a lot of very emotional moments and a couple of hype moments, the number one is easily the most hypest shit I've ever seen in my life. Well, okay, maybe not, but the hypest shit I've seen in a movie in a very long time, and that is Thor coming home. Not, Wakanda's not his home, but he's coming to Earth, which is, I guess, now his home, technically, and he's destroying some shit, and he's getting some fucking revenge. I loved it. It was great. So there you go. That is my top 10 best moments, or favorite scenes, whatever it's called, from Avengers Infinity War. Please tell me in the comments what your favorite moments were. Of course, you know, tell me top 5, top 10, top 20, top whatever. Who cares? You can tell me as many as you want. I love this movie, and I can't wait to see it again. I just hyped myself up even more to go see it again from this video, so I'm glad I did it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you, and of course, until next time, goodbye.